Hi, and welcome to today's training session, which is all about our focus books for August. So, the first one to show you is this one, which is 24 Hours in the Wilderness, which is part of our very popular 24 Hours series. Now, if you haven't seen this series before, I would say it is an absolute must for any event you do. This series is perfect for children that tell you they like graphic novels, that like comics, or just children that are really interested in a particular topic. I find at events a lot of children are still really into like animals, wildlife, Bear Grylls, and this book, I think, is the answer to that. So you start off and you meet the characters that are featured in the book, and it quite literally does follow 24 hours in their life. And in this story, it's about two children and their uncle who go out to explore the wilderness, and their boat gets untied and they end up stranded in the wilderness. You've got links to relevant quick links for children to find out more information if they're particularly interested in this. You've got a contents page at the start. And then it begins and takes you through 24 hours in this scenario. You've got comic strip style illustrations throughout, and then you have pages that are kind of more fact focused. You've got pages that introduce you to all the different animals and give you lots of information about that. It's absolutely packed full of science and history. As well as absolutely beautiful illustrations throughout. It talks about rewilding. And at the end, you have got some information about the world's wild places. You've got how to prepare for a wilderness adventure, including wilderness checklist. You've got a glossary of terms, and you've got an index. These books are $7.99, and I feel like they should be more money. Like, they definitely feel like they're worth more money. They're ram-packed with facts. They're perfect for kids that love graphic novels. They're perfect for kids that are really fact-orientated. They're perfect for reluctant readers. And I just think all the additional details in them make them incredible value. On a completely different scale, we have got this one, which is Feed Your Monster. So this is a brand new series with some really fun technology involved. So these are Turn the Wheel books aimed at quite young children. Again, super good value, but this is only $7.99. I think these will really fly out at any baby and toddler events. So you have a little monster character. Your monster character is hungry, and in order to feed it, you need to turn the wheel to give it different food. What's great about this book is the monster reacts to the food you're giving it with the turning of the wheel. You get different reactions from the monster about what it likes and doesn't like. And then it's not happy with any of the things you're giving it, so you have to keep trying to feed it more and more food as you go out throughout the book. And it's just really fun, really engaging, really interactive. I love the rainbow feature right at the end of the book of this amazing drink that this little monster is having. And I think these books are just really fun, really interactive, really engaging for very small children and slightly older children too, to enjoy with a grown-up. Next up is this one, which is Sparkly Unicorns, or Touchy-Feely Sparkly Unicorns. You will find lovely touchy-feely patches on every page, which is just lovely kind of for more tactile learners. But it has more of a plot than our other touchy-feely books. So it's lovely to kind of snuggle down with at bedtime, where you can share the book with your little person and they can enjoy the touchy-feely patches as well. So it's about a magical unicorn, but the unicorn's a little bit sad, as no other unicorns lived in her little magical world, and she cared for all the forest animals with her magical horn. And then one day she meets a unicorn friend, and they explore together And then she finds there's a whole world of other beautiful unicorns. It's a really sweet story, beautifully illustrated, beautifully designed, lovely touchy-feely patches to engage with on each page. It's $9.99. I think it's a lovely present. Again, will do really well in your baby and toddler groups. And I think quite nice for children that just need a bit more to engage them when you're reading to them. I think kids that like flap books as well, it's that sense that you're interacting with the book as you're reading with it, and it's something for them to do while they're listening. Some children find it quite hard to listen, don't they? And I think this helps them to engage fully in the story because they're almost becoming a part of it in interacting with these little unicorn and animal characters. Then we've got this one, which is Super Shark and the Sneaky Ship Sinkers, which is a little bit of a tongue twister. So this is a series that I think is your answer to children telling you they like Dogman or Bunny versus Monster. I think this is your alternative to that. These books are $5.99, which again, I think is just really incredible value for money. And they are like, they kind of combine a variety of things. So you've got the more kind of standard straight text, then you've got comic strip style illustrations and text, and then you've got puzzles to work through as you work through the story. So again, really fun, interactive, great for reluctant readers, kind of a super low pressure book to read for children, especially on the pages where there's limited text on those pages. And at the back of the book, you have got clues to help you solve the puzzles as well as the answers. So really fun, really good value for money, and I think another kind of must-have for your stores, especially school book fairs. Then we've got this one, which is the latest in the Adventure Game Books series. So this is probably my number one recommendation to have at any event, is an adventure game book. You will sell it. I think these have got a real nostalgia factor for parents who remember doing these books when they were a child. So I think you've already got the parent buying because they remember how good these books were. And kids just love the fact that they're not reading in a chronological order, that they can just make decisions throughout the book about what happens to their characters. So this one, the plot is, can you win the race to the heart of the great storm and save your father's life? Every decision is yours in this epic tale of deadly sea monsters, ancient secrets, and the perils of the deep. So you have got kind of text throughout, and then you'll see, if you've not come across one of these before, you will get choices of what happens to your characters. You turn to the corresponding pages. You've also got puzzles to solve throughout. There's illustrations, there's things to do with dice, and it's just a really fun, engaging, interactive read that is perfect for kids that are into gaming or just need something a bit more to capture their attention while they're reading. It's great for kids to like read this at the same time as someone else in their class, so they can compare what's happened to their character, where they've got to in the story, how many lives they've got left. And I think, yeah, these are just absolute must-haves at any of your events. And the final book I've got to show you is this one, which is How to Get Magically Popular. So this is the second book that we've got from Radhika Sanghani. So her first one was The Girl Who Couldn't Lie, and she writes like in the magic realism realm. So the books are kind of set in a very recognizable world. The first one has a magical bangle. This one is about a girl called Sabina who is desperate just to fit in. So she's moved to a different place with her mum. We know that her dad isn't on the scene, so it's just her and her mum. And she's moved somewhere else so her mum can really set up her beauty business. She spends quite a lot of time on her own because her mum is always working, trying to make a better life for the two of them. She started quite a prestigious school because she's really academic, and she feels like she doesn't quite fit in. She had two amazing best friends back home. She really misses them, and she's kind of struggling to work out her place in this new school. And she's just desperate for a friend. It's super relatable. She's at secondary school, but it is Radhika's books, I think, are definitely pitched younger than the Tamsin Winter books. Like, there's nothing inappropriate in this book. My daughter is nearly 7, and I would have no issue with her reading this book. And in fact, actually, when I brought it home, she loved the cover, she loved the title. And the books that she is drawn to the most at the moment are the Dork Diaries books and the Jacqueline Wilson books, which I know are common things that girls say they like those books and those authors. So I think if kids are telling you they like Jacqueline Wilson or Dork Diaries, Radhika's books, I think, are a really good alternative, particularly if they are at the younger end and you don't want to recommend Tamsin Winter because you think they're a bit young. I think Radhika's books are fine to recommend. So yes, so Sabina is at a new school and there is a yoga class at this new school, and she kind of goes off into this. She's used to doing yoga and meditation and breathing with her mum, although she didn't realize it was called that. And she goes off into kind of this meditative state, and then she wakes up at the end and everyone's staring at her and she's really embarrassed, and the teacher gives her this chakra, this crystal to kind of help find her chakras. And what this crystal does is it gives her the ability to look into the future. So when she touches an item, it will connect her to like a vision in the future, and she sees things. So initially it starts off quite tame. So she sees like the answers to a geography test that she didn't know, and she comes top of the class. She sees that one of her teachers is going to get a stomach bug, so isn't going to be able to teach her lesson. She sees who will be taking who to this winter formal. But soon it becomes a gift that she just doesn't want. She doesn't want to see into the future. She doesn't want people knowing she can see into the future. So together with her new friend Faye, she tries to figure out actually how to stop it and how to live her life in the present, not always looking to the future. So it's a story about family dynamics, relationships, fitting in, friendship, and it's just that kind of perfect story for what would you do. And I think it's great to pose that question to kids. It is that idea of like, what would you do if you could see into the future? Is it a power you'd want? Would you want to know what was happening to everyone else? And if you would you tell them what was happening to them? And I think kids love putting themselves in that space of this character. And I think she's just, super relatable for kind of like middle primary age children and probably kids in year 7 and 8 as well. So those are our focus books for August. Have a think about which ones your customers would love, which ones you might want to take to your events, and we look forward to seeing what becomes a new bestseller for you.